Markets gain momentum following positive global cues. Nifty up over 100 points, steady about 21,500, led by Ultra Cement and Hindalco. Meanwhile, Sensex also jumps 350 points and the Nifty Bank is up 250 points. All sectors in the green. PSU banks and metals top gainers up over 1%, followed by auto and real estate stocks. And Adani Group back in focus extends gains as promoters look to infuse 9,350 crore rupees into Adani Green to deleverage and to fund a massive capex plan. And 5 people hospitalized after ammonia gas leak from subsea pipe in Ennore near Chennai. Officials say that the leak has been contained. Hello and welcome. This is This is Samina and you're watching the F&O Show, where we take you through all the derivative action in the markets. But first up, a quick check on the markets. The Nifty trades around its day's highest point. 21,578 is what we have on the index, in kissing distance to 21,583, which was the recent high made on the Nifty last week. Breadth of the market looks good. The bias clearly is on the upside. The bulls are in control of the street. The advanced decline ratio implies that the bias is in terms of the movers and shakers in terms of the bullish action. The broader markets also trade well across various sectors. You've got most of the sectors trading positive. The India VIX is also marginally high. After yesterday's gain of 7%, it continues to trade with a 3% up move in trade right now. Well, across sectors, auto is leading the pack with gains of about 1%. You've got metals that are doing really well, 1.5% higher on metals. It's the PSU banks, though, that are taking the cake this morning, up about 2%. A quick check on Bank Nifty, because that has been one space where we were hoping would provide the last leg of support on the markets. Remember, we are going into Bank Nifty expiry in a few days, and Bank Nifty continuing to pull its weight together above 48,000, comfortably above 48,000 at the day's high point, 0.7% gain on Bank Nifty. Well, a couple of stocks that are catching our attention as we speak on the Nifty 50, you've got cement names that are leading the rally, like we said, and of course metal counters. Hindalco is up 2.5%. Ultratech Cement looks good. Tata Steel, Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto, JSW Steel. So all the auto counters in the Nifty 50, steel and cement, are the big gainers in trade today. Tech is not doing too badly either. Stocks like Infosys are trading with marginal gains. You've got other names such as M&M, IndusInd Bank, Tata Consumer. So the whole Tata group companies are having a field day in trade this morning. A quick check on a couple of the mid-cap movers as well. So you have lots of news-driven counters that were moving, but defense continues to be in a sweet spot. Zen Technology, BL are counters that are trading very firm. In fact, Zen Tech is trading with, has it in upper circuit, another 5% gain on the counter. BL, Mazgaon, Docks, Cochin Shipyard, a few other names in the defensive space that are seeing marginal gains. It's actually Zen that's leading the way up in today's day of trade. The rest of the defense pack is actually trading quite subdued. Well, apart from that, a quick mention of the cement majors. In the mid-cap space, every cement name that you can pick and choose is trading with a very, very clear positive bias. So being led by the frontline names, but the mid-cap counters also not trading too far behind in the session this morning. Well, I'm going to quickly take a look at the few of the Nifty 100 counters and pick up on names that are trading well. So Bank of Baroda is, we've already talked about some of those names, but you've also got Adani Green. The rally continues today after the promoters have indicated that they're looking to infuse 9,000 odd crores in order to fulfill their expansion plans. This comes in on very close to the heels of the other fundraising that the company has done over the last few weeks. We have with us two very special guests joining in, Bhavin Mehta, VP Derivative Strategy of Daulat Capital, and Shilpa Raut of Prabhudas Leeladhar joins in. Thank you, Shilpa and Bhavin, for joining in. Bhavin, it's turning out to be quite a strong day of trade. We're trading at the day's high point on the Nifty. Bank Nifty, after a 7% rally already in the month of December, continues to gain in trade as we speak, comfortable above 48,000. On the Nifty, what's the trade?
So what we are looking at from markets right now is specifically last 5 trading session of December. Usually we have seen this kind of move wherein Nifty witnesses a significant amount of rally in absence of volume. So if you look at cash volumes over last couple of trading sessions, that has been on the lower side. Our view continues to remain positive on market, remains constructive at least till first week of Jan. My sense is that we are probably moving closer to 21,800 on upside. At the same time, the recent shakeout that we observed previous week has helped market to lighten up the position, and that ideally should lead to further upside if we take out 21,800. If we look at data points, be it roll cost, that continues to remain very strong. So my sense is that net, we are in for a strong end to CY23.
Right. Shilpa, what are you expecting in terms of expiry? It looks comfortable on the index. We do believe there is resistance around levels of 21,550, 21,600. But over the next 2 days, how would you trade the index?
Good morning, and the trade would be completely on the upside. The trend is your friend. That is what we need to remember right now. The data points is very supportive. Looking at the PCR or individual strike rate PCR also, if we judge by an option chain, that is also reflecting on a very strong up move from here. This 21,600 level should be breached on the upside comfortably, and we should head towards 21,700 odd zones by tomorrow. This expiry should see Nifty again making new highs, and the floating should be on a very strong note.
Bhavin, how would you trade Bank Nifty today? Would you initiate any sort of trading position today?
So to us, Bank Nifty continues to remain a long trade as of now. And specifically, if you look at Bank Nifty, particularly PSU Bank has led the charge in trade. We believe that possibility of 48,200 on upside is very much likely on Bank Nifty spot. There is a possibility of move that we are looking at currently to last at least towards first week of January. So our trade on the Bank Nifty remains on the positive side, can look to buy the call option for the same.
Right. Shilpa, what about you? What are you doing with Bank Nifty? I mean, 48,000 is looking good. Would you look at initiating a trading position, or would you wait for a few levels that you're watching out for to be taken out before you initiate any calls on either sides?
Bank Nifty is in fact a very good trade right now. The trade in spot above 48,000 gives a confirmation that it is heading towards 48,500 in a couple of days. Looking at the option chain also, you see that 47,900 to 47,800 very aggressive put writing happening, which reflects on a very strong support base on immediate basis. And this move above 48,000 is just a confirmation of that we are heading towards 48,300 to 48,500 maybe by tomorrow.
Right. Bhavin and Shilpa, stay with us. We'll slip into a quick break, but while we take that break, Credo Brands IPO opened today. We spoke to the management on the company's growth outlook and breakdown of organic and inorganic growth. Hear what he had to say to us.
This Q1, our performance, if we compare it to last year, we have grown north of 20% in the first quarter, which has been already declared. And as far as and typically the first quarter is 18 to 20% of our revenues when you annualize it. So you could make some kind of calculation from that. Talking about the asset-light model and the scalability, see what we have been doing, Hiral, is that we've been growing on two accounts. Inorganically by expanding, our stores, and organically by having some kind of growth rate at existing stores. If we talk of the same-store growth, we have grown at a CAGR of 7.24% over the last 4 years. If you take that on a normalized period, which was pre-COVID to the year ended 31st March 2023, and so that's on one account of organic growth. And on the other hand, as far as opening of new stores is concerned and expansion is concerned, in the first 6 months of this year we have opened 31 new stores, and as of 30th September we stood at a tally of 404 stores. And if last year we opened 52 new stores. So if you take that kind of percentage that you see, so we will have a growth of a combination of both. However, we intend to, we aim to grow double in the next 4 to 5 years. And as far as the margins are concerned, see, there are a lot of changes that we made in our brand pre-COVID, post turning 20. We've had a very humble beginning, from the start, and there are a lot of things that we're learning as the landscape of retail has been changing in India. We changed some things about ourselves, and namely our brand identity, our retail identity, and our merchandise architecture. And there are a lot of structural changes that we made during COVID, because COVID gave everyone the opportunity to, kind of course correct and clean up their act. So all of these changes that we made have begun bearing fruits now. Hence, you see the jump in profitability, and that is something that we intend to maintain going forward, and we think we should be able to do that.
It looks exciting for credit. Remember, the retail brand name is Mufti Clothing. The IPO opened flat but has gained about 3% in the last 45 minutes or so. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Our eyes remain on December expiry. Bhavan and Shilpa, stay with us on the other side. Back to the F&O Show. After a stellar debut of Motisan Jewels yesterday, it's a flat debut for RBZ Jewelers on the exchanges today. We caught up with the management on their business overview and more. Listen in.
So let me explain you the business model more precisely. I mean, the serious investors would want to actually first understand the business model and then come back to figures. So RBZ has got synergy-wise, there's a retail and there's a wholesale. Let's say if some of the giant retailers are giving us advance metal, and we route that through job work, that is contract manufacturing. But on a very macro level, you can consider that there is a retail portion and there is a wholesale portion. Now, when you talk about the strength of RBZ, it lies into in-house manufacturing, a strong design team, modern machineries in place, and a strong quality control department. With this 4 pillars, we are able to demand advanced metal from some of the clients who are major India retailers, and because of this, I think we are very much focused on this segment, and we want to move ahead in this. When you just part out the revenue, it is most critical to understand the volume data first. So in fiscal 23, we have done around 1,059 kg of volumes. If you convert that into rupee term, it will be converting at around 550 or odd crores. In this year, we will be again doing a top up of around, we are expecting a 1,200 kg of volumes. By value of rupees, it will be around 720 or 707, between the range of 700 to 750 crores. So with that segment, if you just want to divide the volumes in all the 3 segments, I think retail is doing 20% and wholesale and job work is doing 80%.
Right, that's RBZ Jewelers, the stock trading flat as it gets in today's day of trade. A couple of other names, Bhavin, Shilpa, I'll come to both of you on this one. Bhavin, I'll come to you first. What is happening in the cement pack today? All cement names are trading deeply in the green. Maybe some form of sectoral rotation that's taking place today. But any of the cement counters you'd initiate a fresh long on?
Yeah, so couple of names that we had highlighted earlier is doing well in trade today. One is Ramco Cement. So if you look at this particular stock, it's one of the stock from F&O pack that has been outperforming in trade today. And if you look at last couple of trading sessions, it was one of the stock that underperformed over last 3 to 4 trading sessions. Our sense is this stock is probably placed for a move closer to level of 1100 in a short period of time. Overall remain constructive for this name. Good amount of build-up has been observed in this name. So if you look at today's trade itself, stock has close to about, on a provisional basis, added close to about 8% OI in trade today. I am anticipating a strong move with the stop loss of today's low. One can look to long. Another name, particularly from this segment that continues to do really well over a period of time, is Ultratech Cement. I mean, one of the leader in the cement space. Stock is already broken above level of 10,000. My sense is that this stock is eventually going for 11,500 to 12,000 on upside. And given the large cap, you have a relatively better possibility of outperformance versus Nifty.
Right. Shilpa, what about you? What are your views on cement? Ultratech, Ambuja, ABP, Shree Cement, Ramco. I mean, across the board, you're seeing some sort of long build-up that's taking place. What is the trade? Anything here, or you'd avoid the sector?
No, definitely not. I'm not avoiding. In fact, I'm always very much invested into this, cement sector. I like giving a lot of recommendations from the sector. Dalmia Bharat is one of my very favorite pick from here. I've recommended from 2200 zones here at Prabhudas Leeladhar, and the stock is already trading at around 2300 zones right now. So on any declines toward 2200, one should be a buyer in this script for targets till 2450 to 2500 zones positional.
Bhavin, do you track defense? Yesterday, some of the defense counters, shipbuilders in particular, did well. So Cochin Shipyard, Mazgaon Docks, even the BL had a good day. Today, of course, the trade is very restricted to Zen Technologies that is at upper circuit this morning. It's been one of the best performing counters for the year, up over 300%. We caught up with the management. The guidance, the outlook is very promising on the fundamental side. On the charts, how does Zen look, or any other defensive name that you would consider going long on for the Jan series?
Yeah, so we have been positive on most of the defense name. Zentech has actually done well. However, here from the entire defense pack, if you look at one of the stock, Hindustan Aeronautics, that continues to remain in F&O. has also shown a very promising technical pattern as well as good amount of build up over last 2 to 3 trading session. Now, one thing to note here is that this particular counter above 2850 ideally should be breaking out from the fresh consolidation pattern that we have observed for a very short period of time. It's just 15 odd trading session that we have seen this consolidation. So anything beyond 2850, I am anticipating a strong move for Hindustan Aeronautics. Zen Technologies per se is not under active coverage for us as of now.
Right. Shilpa, what about you? What are your top trading ideas for the day?
I have two buys. The first one would be from metals, that is Tata Steel. Tata Steel trading at around 139 zones. I believe it has a very strong base at around 135 to 133. So on any declines towards 135, one can accumulate the stock, but targets till 155 to 160. The other one would be a buy in Power Grid. Power Grid is also showing, very robust strength. It has given a breakout above 231 zones. So on any declines towards those zones should be a buying opportunity for targets of 245 to 250 zones.
Marvin, your top trades, what are you buying, selling, any sort of option strategies?
Yeah, so I'm particularly looking at stock of Tata Motors. If you look at this particular counter, after a long time, it is trying to break above level of 730. This has the highest OI on the option side for current series. And if you look at today, we are looking at stock breaking above 730. Add to that, we are also looking at unwind at the same strike. So this continues to remain a preferred long for a target of 780, stop loss of about 710, which is close to about 20-day EMA for the stock. Second name is Infosys. So last couple of trading session has not been that great for this particular counter. We have seen a consolidation just about 20-day EMA for this particular counter. My view is that this stock is probably going closer to level of 1650 on upside. Stop loss should be kept around 1530. Overall, long position continues to remain in both the counters, that is Tata Motors and Infosys. Roll costs are healthy. So I am looking at a strong move over next couple of trading sessions for both these names.
Bhavin, not sure whether you mentioned, but anything in the metals pack, because metal index is also trading deeply in the green and across the board, from the Hindalcos to the Tata Steels to the mid-cap metal counters, there is buying across the board.
Yeah, so what we are looking at is particularly two counters, NALCO, which is already in F&O band, and Steel Authority of India. So SAIL is not in F&O band, but I am looking at a very strong move coming up for this counter in short period of time. We have a directional view for SAIL with a target price of about 150 on upside. Stock has already given a very strong move from level of about 104, 105 to current level of 117, but I am anticipating this momentum to continue on upside. And given how the aluminium prices have behaved overnight, definitely your entire aluminium pack should also do well. Overall, the momentum should continue, and from aluminium pack, we are recommending long on NALCO, National Aluminium, at this price point.
Shilpa, we've talked about most of the sectors in focus, but I want to pick up on the oil and gas pack. HPCL and BPCL have had a very good run all through December, up 20 and 11% respectively. Now what we are seeing is likes of an ONGC and Oil India moving on back of the way crude has been trading. Would you initiate any trades on either the OMCs or the upstream?
Actually, ONGC is the trade for now. The stock has given a breakout above 202. I'm talking about future levels for Jan. So this should be the stop loss, and one should attempt a long towards 220 to 225 zones from here.
Right. Bhavin, what about you? Have you been tracking HPCL, BPCL, and even ONGC and Oil India, like Shilpa indicated, is looking pretty good right now, ONGC in particular?
Yeah, so what we have been recommending to our clients is basically Oil India versus ONGC. That trade has worked really well for us in a last 6 months period. Continue to remain positive on both the names. However, preference more towards Oil India remains. Second, with respect to HPBP IOC, we have seen some good amount of option trades, particularly in HPCL. So if you look at 400 strike for January series, that has been most active with close to about 4% yield. This aggression clearly indicates that there is a possibility of a strong move coming up for HPCL in near term. So we remain positive and constructive even from OMCs, particularly with respect to HPCL in a short period of time.
Right. Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you, Bhavin, for joining us. It was great having both of you in conversation today. Last three trading days to go before we close out the year. It seems like new highs on the Nifty cannot be ruled out. We trade very close to those levels. It's been the second straight day of gains coming in on the benchmark. Today, of course, the breadth is positive. Bank Nifty is also trading firmly above levels of 48,000. With that, we'll slip into a break, but there's a lot more programming on the other side, so stay tuned.